Welcome to Class 8. We've spent 7 weeks building your foundation in Claude, your profile, your workflow. Today we zoom out. This class is about the full picture, what's out there, what it does, and how it all fits together. By the time we're done, you'll have a clear map of every AI tool worth knowing right now, and you'll know exactly when to reach for each one. Before we get into today's content, I want to show you something I built for the team. This is your class library. Every session we've done is in here. The Zoom recording, the slide deck, the narrated video, and the pre-class email. If you missed a class, this is where you catch up. If you want to review something before you use it with a client, it's right here. The address is fsp-ai-academy.netlify.app. Save it on your phone right now. It gets updated every Thursday after class. Here's what we're doing today. We start with an honest conversation about what Claude actually does well and what it genuinely doesn't do, because knowing the limits is what makes you good at using the whole toolkit. Then we look at ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok, when each one earns its place and how to get that output back into Claude. We'll cover image and video creation, Gemini's research capabilities including Notebook LM, and then we're going to do the setup live. Laptops out before we're done. I want to be straight with you about something. Claude is an extraordinary tool for writing, reasoning, and running your workflow. It knows who you are, it knows this brokerage, and it holds context in a way that no other platform does right now. But it doesn't generate images. It can't watch a YouTube video and tell you what it saw. It doesn't produce the kind of typeset formatted PDFs that ChatGPT can. And it doesn't search the live web the way Grok does. That's not a weakness. That's just the reality of where things are. Every one of those gaps has a tool that fills it. And that's exactly what today is about. Think of it this way. Claude is your home office. You do your best thinking there, your best writing, your most complex work. The other tools are specialists you call in for specific jobs. ChatGPT when you need an image that does exactly what you describe, or a formatted document that looks professionally typeset. Gemini when you have a YouTube video to analyze, research to organize, or a video to create. Grok when you want to know what people are actually saying right now on X, real-time public opinion, what buyers are talking about, the pulse of the market. Each one has a lane. The recommendation is simple. Claude for everything. Gemini when you have a video to analyze or research to pull together. Images. Try any of the three and pick your favorite. There's no wrong answer. Let's talk about AI images. I'm not going to tell you which one is the best because it depends on what you're making and what you're comfortable with. All three of these tools produce professional results. ChatGPT with GPT Image 2 is great if you already use that platform. It does exactly what you describe. Gemini's image model is called Imagen 4. You may have heard it called Nano Banana. That's just the internal model name. And it's particularly good at editing photos you already have. Grok's Aurora produces beautiful cinematic images, and it can animate them into video clips right inside the same tool. One important note before you start experimenting. None of these images can be used as MLS listing photos. Virtual staging, adding furniture to an empty room, is accepted practice because buyers understand what they're looking at. Altering the actual condition of the property is a different matter. If a buyer can't clearly tell that a lush lawn or freshly painted exterior isn't the current state of the home, that's a misrepresentation problem, and it can cost you the relationship and potentially more. Use these tools for lifestyle content, social media, flyers, and marketing, not condition claims. Try one, pick your favorite. There's no wrong answer here. This is the one that changes how you think about listing marketing. Both Gemini and Grok can take a photo, any photo, a listing shot, your headshot, an AI-generated image, and turn it into a video clip. Gemini just launched VO 3.1 and Gemini Omni at Google I/O last week. Up to 8 seconds, up to 4K with native audio. You edit it in plain language. Slow down the pan, change the lighting, stabilize it. Grok's Aurora gives you 10 seconds of cinematic film quality output with synced ambient audio. Google Flow, at flow.google.com, is where Gemini's images and video come together in one free workspace. Go ahead and try generating one clip before next class and bring it in. Good or bad, we'll talk about what worked. Gemini has two capabilities that Claude genuinely doesn't replicate, and both are worth knowing. The first is YouTube. Paste any YouTube URL into Gemini, up to an hour of video, and it watches the whole thing. Audio, visuals, on-screen text, speaker gestures. You get back a summary of what it actually saw, not just a transcript of what was said. You can ask follow-up questions. What technique did they show at 4 minutes 20? give me the 3 main objection handlers. This is powerful for sales training, market research, and competitor analysis. The second capability is Notebook LM. It's a Gemini-powered research tool that lets you build curated, searchable knowledge bases from documents, recordings, and links. I build notebooks for the team, training materials, market research, compliance updates. Your job is to use them, not build them. When I have a new one ready, I'll let you know. I want to show you something I use every day that you can adapt for yourself. I call it the dump folder. When I find something worth keeping, a YouTube training, a useful Claude output, something from the Chrome extension, it doesn't disappear into a browser tab. It goes to one place. Here's how it works. I find the content. If it's a YouTube video, I paste the URL into Gemini and ask for a full transcript with descriptions of what was shown visually. I save that to a folder in my Claude work called Claude.ai dump. Then, when I open a new co-work session, Claude checks that folder. We talk about what's there, where it belongs, and whether it's useful for something active. You don't have to run the exact same system, but the principle is the same. If it doesn't get saved, it doesn't get used. Here's something you may not have thought about. The work you did in Class 3, your FSP Foundation Block, and your personal profile, those files aren't just for Claude. They work in any AI platform. You paste them into the custom instructions of any tool, and that tool instantly knows who you are, what brokerage you're with, and how you work. ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, all 3 accept it. You did the setup work once. It travels with you everywhere. This is the workflow I want you to leave today understanding. Claude is still home base. Everything worth keeping comes back here. You go to ChatGPT or Grok to generate an image. You save it to your Claude work folder. You open CoWork. Claude sees it, knows what you just added, and builds from it. A listing description that matches the mood of the image, a social caption, a client email. That full loop, specialist tool to Claude work folder to CoWork. That's the handoff. Run it once and it becomes second nature. All right, let's do this live. Get your laptops out. We're loading your FSP Foundation Block and personal profile into all 3 platforms right now. Your files are in Claude Work, my AI prompts. If you can't find them, raise your hand and we'll get you sorted. For ChatGPT, settings, personalization, custom instructions. Paste into the top field and save. For Gemini, create a new gem, name it FSP Business Partner. Paste into the instructions box. For Grok, create a new project, same name. Go to the instructions tab and paste. When each one is done, test it. Ask it to write a 1-line intro using your name and brokerage. If it knows who you are, you're set. Raise your hand when all 3 are done. If the person next to you is stuck, help them out. Teaching it once is worth more than watching once. Before we move on, let's do a quick check. Raise your hand for each one of these you're solid on. If there's one you're not there on yet, make a note. We'll come back to it. 5 things before next class. None of them more than 15 minutes. Generate 1 AI image using ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok, whichever one you're most comfortable with. Take that image and animate it into a video clip in Grok or Gemini. Ask Gemini to summarize a YouTube video, any real estate training you've been meaning to watch. Save 1 output from any of these tools to your Claude work folder, and then run the full handoff. Open CoWork, mention the file, ask Claude to turn it into something useful. Run that loop at least once, start to finish. That's the whole assignment. You came into this program as Claude users. You're leaving today as 4-tool professionals. Claude writes and reasons. ChatGPT generates images with precision. Gemini watches videos, creates video, and powers your research library. Grok reads the real-time pulse of public opinion and produces cinematic images and clips. Every output comes home to Claude. Class 9 is Zillow and Follow-Up Boss, building the AI-assisted lead response system that your Zillow Flex agents will use every day. That one's going to live directly in your workflow. I'll see you next Thursday.